8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Dhanushka Mathavila and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The health service will be regulated under the central government as a closed service in the new draft constitution. A secretariat for trilateral national security advisors on maritime security cooperation was formed in Sri Lanka. The Gazette notification related to increase the salary of estate employees to 1,000 rupees will be issued soon. The media minister said that no news published in the media can harm the general public. In foreign news, PM Narendra Modi gets COVID jab as India scales up vaccination. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa focused his attention on the regulation of the health service under the central government as a closed service in the new draft constitution. The Prime Minister agreed to the request made by the President of the GMOA, consultant Dr. Anuruddha Padenia, at a meeting held at Temple Trees today. Attention was focused on several issues related to the health sector and the doctors in this meeting. The Prime Minister instructed the Health Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi to take necessary measures to make the Sri Lanka Medical Council an independent organisation. The retirement age of all the doctors will be increased to 63 years. Secretary of the Socialist People's Front, Raja Kolore, said that it is sad to note that some European countries and powerful Western nations are making false statements regarding Sri Lanka. They are funding NGOs and INGOs who voice their opinions against Sri Lanka. Addressing a media briefing held in Colombo today, he said that the report of the United Nations Human Rights Council against Sri Lanka is not acceptable. Media Minister Kehelia Rambukwella said that no news published in the media can harm the general public. The general public should focus their attention on the citizens' rights. Rights of the journalist also should be protected. Addressing a media briefing held in the ministry today, the minister added that the Sri Lanka Press Council law should be amended. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Chairman of the Elections Commission, Nimal P. Punchiheva, said that prior to holding the provincial council election, it is a must to solve the legal issues related to it. The authorities should come to a clear stance over the act to hold the election. Afterwards, the Election Commission can hold the election in around 2 months' time under health regulations. The chairman said that the initial work has already begun in this regard. A secretariat for trilateral national security advisors on maritime security cooperation was formed in Sri Lanka. It was formed under the auspices of Secretary of Defence, retired General Kamal Gunaratne, at the Navy headquarters today. Based on an agreement reached on the 4th National Security Advisors Level Trilateral Meeting hosted in Colombo on the 28th of November 2020 with the attendance of defence chiefs of the 3 participating countries, it was decided to establish a secretariat for the convenience of future conclaves. Through the National Security Advisors Level meetings, it is expected to pay concerns into the current maritime security environment in the region and discuss mutual cooperation in the areas of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, joint exercises and capacity building. Further, it enables participants to discuss new areas of cooperation in the fields of maritime security and threats, maritime pollution and oil spill responses, maritime and underwater heritage, maritime legal provisions and COVID-19 response. Meanwhile, the Director Naval Operations was appointed as coordinating officer of the newly formed Secretariat body. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said that the Gazette notification related to the increase of the salaries of estate employees to 1,000 rupees will be issued soon. This is a promise made by the present government when they were elected to power. The minister said that it is a victory for the estate workers. Around 15 rounds of talks were held in this regard, he said. That was the main news story. Watchlight follows.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
We take a look at Watchlight. The Sat Korala, a community rights protection organization, said that people who drink illicit alcohol die prematurely and will be infected with many diseases. Attorney M.R.B. Kohomba Kadewala said at the monthly meeting of the organization at the Kurunagala Etkanda Rajamahaviharya recently that brewing and distilling of illicit liquor will be stopped to prevent such deaths and diseases. He said illicit liquor ruins health since it contains various toxins. The government should do its best to discharge illicit liquor drinking, which mainly affects the poor and ignorant in Sri Lanka. He said that cigarettes contain chemicals including nicotine, which is the most poisonous toxin found in all parts of the tobacco plant, especially in its leaves. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. PM Narendra Modi gets COVID jab as India scales up vaccination. EU to propose vaccine passports in March in time for summer. OPEC oil put falls in February on Saudi additional cuts. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has received the coronavirus jab as the country opened its vaccination program for the wider population. India launched its vaccination drive on the 16th of January, but it was limited to healthcare workers and frontline staff. Now, people over 60 and those who are between 45 and 59 who have other illnesses can get vaccinated. State-run hospitals will offer free jabs, but people who can also pay at private facilities can get vaccinated. The European Commission will present a proposal in March on creating an EU-wide digital COVID-19 vaccination passport that may allow Europeans to travel more freely over the peak summer holiday period. Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced the coming legislative proposal in a speech to German conservative lawmakers today, providing a few more details in subsequent tweets. The digital Green Pass would provide proof that a person has been vaccinated, results of the test for those not yet vaccinated, and information on recovery for the people who have contracted COVID-19. OPEC oil put fell in February as a voluntary cut by Saudi Arabia added to agreed reduction under a pact with allies. A Reuters survey found ending a run of 7 conservative monthly increases. The 13-member organization of the petroleum exporting countries pumped 24.89 million barrels per day in February. The survey found down 870,000 barrels per day from January. This is the first monthly decline since June 2020. OPEC and allies, known as the OPEC Plus, decided to keep supply mostly steady for February, while Saudi Arabia made an extra cut out of concern about a slow recovery in demand. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. PM Narendra Modi gets COVID jab as India scales up vaccination. EU to propose vaccine passports in March in time for summer. OPEC oil puts fall in February on Saudi additional cut. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by
CIB offers valuable prize for New Year from 1st to 15th of March. Our choice in our own place. CIB.
The Urban Development Authority will launch a series of rapid mega development projects covering the Nuwara district on the 23rd of April. According to the Urban Development and Housing Ministry, the projects are implemented on the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in parallel with the Vistas of Prosperity election manifesto. The project will be Nuwara Eliya, Pundaloya, Nanuoya, Ginigathena, Walapene, Pusellava, Kitulgala and the suburbs. Renovation of the old racecourse in Nuwara Eliya with new value additions will be the main and first phase of the project to be implemented. That was development news. Next, we take a look at sports news.
Development News was brought to you by
CIB offers valuable prize for New Year from 1st to 15th of March. Our choice in our own place. CIB.
On to sports news. The latest ICC Test batting and bowling rankings have been released. New Zealand captain Kane Williamson tops the Test batting list, followed by former Australian captain Steve Smith. 3 Indian batsmen are in the top 10. Virat Kohli, followed by Rohit Sharma and Cheteshwar Pujara in 5th, 8th and 10th positions respectively. Meanwhile, Australian Pat Cummins is at the top of the Test bowlers rankings, followed by New Zealand's Neil Wagner. In 3rd place is Ravichandran Ashwin, who took 7 wickets in the recently concluded Test against England. West Indies' Jason Holder has topped the rankings among all-round Test cricketers. That was a look at sports news. Next, we take a look at business news.
Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has issued a special Gazette notification prohibiting the importation or sale of hand sanitizers without registration with the National Medicines Regulatory Authority effective from the 1st of April. According to this Gazette notification issued on the 25th of February, importers, manufacturers, distributors and traders of hand sanitizers should clearly display the NMRA registration number on the packaging and containers. The action has been taken based on information received that there were substandard products in the market. The Consumer Affairs Authority emphasized that from the 1st of next month, the law will be strictly enforced against individuals and institutions who do not comply with the regulation. That was a look at business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Palbat Dairy Industry, Sri Lanka's leading local dairy producer, is on a renewed mission to produce sufficient forage for the cattle all year round, despite the season, weather and climate, which usually cause deflects to the produce and affect grazing pasture and milk production capabilities of the cattle, thereby not only ensuring to meet the domestic milk demand, but also uplift the socio-economic status of local dairy farmers, supportive industries and locals. Palwate Industries have now extended its support to several women and youth in the locality to establish their own forage and cattle feed production centres. That in turn brought by the company and by the registered local dairy farmers, who will be able to ensure that the cattle receive the food they need all year round, while also supporting an auxiliary industry in the process. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather report.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, the weather report. The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragama, Uva and the western province during the morning. That was a look at the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The health service will be regulated under the central government as a closed service in the new draft constitution. A secretariat for trilateral national security advisors on maritime security cooperation was formed in Sri Lanka. The Gazette notification related to the increase of estate employees' salaries to 1,000 rupees will be issued soon. The media minister said that no news published in the media can harm the general public. And in foreign news, PM Narendra Modi gets COVID jab as India scales up vaccination. That ends tonight's news broadcast. All right, your dear friend and mine, Chandima Verakun, your Monday evening host, is all smiles, set and ready to present the final program for the evening, Family Choice. Chandima, all yours.